everybody, welcome to the show. My name is T and we are talking scary movies. I appreciate you tuning in for this review. Remember, new episodes of the show go up every Wednesday night at 8:30 p.m. Mountain Standard Time, where I'm going to end up having a new interview for you, an opinion piece, or some horror news for you to check out. But throughout the week, I am dropping countless reviews for y'all to check out in the world of horror, whether it's a movie, TV show, game, books, whatever. I'm checking out so much for y'all here, and to stay on top of all of that, the best way to do that is to get subscribed to my link tree. And you can do that by going to linktr.ee/T scary movie. If you get subscribed to my link tree, that's going to give you access to the YouTube page with video versions of the show, your favorite podcasting platforms, the audio only versions of the show, to my Letterboxd page for my written reviews and movie rankings throughout the year, to my TikTok page for my short horror content including movie news and movie premieres, to my Twitch page where you can catch all of my horror gaming including The Thing for PlayStation 2 and Rewind or Die, and to my Fangoria shop page where you can enjoy my 20% discount off anything in the Fangoria shop, including a yearly subscription to the physical magazine. Don't miss out on any of that, folks. Hit that subscribe button, especially if you're watching on YouTube, as the more followers I got, more content I can put out for all of you. So what are we talking about here tonight? Well, folks, it's Tuesday, and you know what that means. We have another episode of Mayfair Witches to jump on into. Things are heating up this season, and we are unpacking the 4th episode of Season 1. We are halfway through this here, folks, so let's not waste any time. Let's jump right on in. Now, last week's episode left off a little bit of intrigue as Rowan finally got a chance to meet Lasher, who is showing more and more of his hand of what his plan is and what he's willing to do to make this plan come to fruition at this point. Ciprien and Rowan also finally had a chance to connect with Ciprien, letting Rowan in on basically all the information that the Talamasca knows about Rowan, her family, her heritage, and what this could mean for her now that she has all this information and how that affects her powers as well too. We're still trying to find out who ended up killing Rowan's mother, Deidre, as there's a lot of suspects coming out of the hotel to where Deidre was killed that we just don't know who could be responsible. Like, was it Lasher directly causing it? Was it Carlotta who was behind it? Was the Talamasca involved somehow? Maybe it was Cortland Mayfair. We don't know, but there's a lot of fingers pointed all around of who could have actually taken Deidre out. And this week we actually get some answers. Ciprien, who's continuing on in his investigation, finds out that the Talamasca have managed to capture the man who's responsible for Deidre's death. And what's interesting about it is that, to me at least, the way that I read it, and those of y'all who have read the books and those of y'all who are a little bit deeper into the TV show might have a better understanding of what this means, but the man that ended up killing Deidre, who was hired to do it, to me it really seems still like this is going to end up being a plot by Lasher, because as Ciprien goes to interrogate this man, the Talamasca has managed to capture him, and Ciprien's being brought in to see if he can find out any information at all as to the motives and like why everything happened the way it did. Right as he's about to question this man, Lasher ends up torturing and killing this man, snaps his neck in the interrogation room, and Ciprien's not really able to gain that much information. And it's interesting because Lasher really has no reason to kill this man unless Lasher is the one behind it. And it seems a bit silly only because I think we all assume by this point in the season that Lasher's intentions are obviously no good. So, of course he had a hand in Deidre's death because he wants Rowan. Rowan holds this importance, and up until this episode, we didn't really know what that was. Like, I had speculated that maybe each generation of passing Mayfairs, they get more and more powerful, which still could be true, but we find out that Rowan is actually the Mayfair heir. The Mayfair heir. She is the designee. She is the person who is basically going to reap everything that the Mayfairs have sown over the decades and the centuries at this point. And that has to be exactly why Lasher is interested in her. We don't know if it's a case of Lasher needs to possess Rowan, if he needs to make a child Rowan, if he needs to marry her, so he's brought into that. There's no like really telling so far of what exactly it is, but what we do know is that the necklace that Deidre was wearing, the key basically, that ended up around Delphine's body, Carlotta's servant, who she ended up getting killed by Lasher. The necklace is missing. It is back with Rowan at this point, which makes sense. She's a Mayfair. She's the one that's supposed to have it, but it's kind of confusing because it seems like the necklace not only is a source of protection, but it's also a power source for Lasher somehow. Like this is somehow basically fueling what Lasher is seeking to do here. Almost to the point of the only comparison I had for it was I hate saying it, but The Mummy. You guys know The Mummy remake that had Tom Cruise in it, and the whole thing was to where he had the necklace or the dagger or something like that to where it protected him, but then at the same time, like he also needed to kill the bad guy. I don't know. It was confusing as hell, and that's why I'm a little confused about the key necklace and the importance of it right now as well too, because it kind of feels like one of those things where it's like, well, if it's in the right hands, this necklace is far more powerful and able to control like Lasher? Is it a case to where the necklace just needs to be destroyed and somehow that destroys Lasher's bond, his tie, his tether to our world? Like, what is the deal with the necklace? Still don't have a good handle on that yet, but we're still getting there. What did kind of interest me this week, though, is that Cortland Mayfair seems to be tipping his hand way more and more that he's not really working with Rowan's best interest. Clearly, he's helping Lasher out, and it seems that some of what he's doing, obviously, is for his own personal stakes. Like, there's something he's going to get out of betraying the rest of the Mayfairs and setting Rowan up with Lasher. But we don't necessarily know what that is yet. Clearly, him and Carlotta are not on the same page at all, but that won't really matter by the end of the episode, as we've seen. And still, the show is not letting us forget how much Rowan struggles with her sobriety and alcohol and with sex in the way that it's used both for her and against her as well. Because like the episode very much earlier on shows us that Rowan's having these very much erotic dreams about not only Ciprien, but Lasher as well. And we know nothing has happened with her and Ciprien as of yet that we've seen, at least that we think is real. Her and Lasher, though, last episode, they did end up having a little bit of a tryst. And granted, yes, Rowan found out before the end of the episode who Lasher like really was and the subterfuge that was going on. But it doesn't change the fact that if these dreams are becoming more and more prevalent to her, Lasher absolutely has his hooks into Rowan. And this obviously is going to spell catastrophe for everyone involved. What's frustrating, though, is that the Talamasca seem to be actively working against helping Rowan and getting to the bottom of this mystery, as Ciprien is finding like things that don't add up with his investigation into Deidre's death and who's been involved with Rowan's finding out the information of her heritage as well too. And they seem to very much be like brushing that off and steering Ciprien away from the investigation. Now, we know that the Talamasca, again, they catalog these events. They are very aware of all these supernatural beings. Between this interview with the vampire and an interview, at least, there weren't any like really signs of nefariety on their side. Like they were trying to help Daniel Malloy out during his interview, giving him more information that he needed and helped open up some doors to really pull the cloak off of Louis' eyes. But in this so far, all we've really seen of the Talamasca is that they're hiding more and more secrets. And unlike a case to where, you know, well, this could end up like information could get back to Armand or could end up getting back to Lestat or whoever else, we don't really understand the reasoning here thus far, why they're keeping everything on the hush-hush away from Rowan, away from Ciprien. But I have a feeling that's very much going to blow up in the second half here of this season. I'm liking it because the show is getting more and more exciting with each subsequent episode. You know, this episode concluded with Carlotta inviting Rowan over to kind of give her more background of the Mayfairs and her family and the connection to Lasher. And it turns out that Carlotta, who's definitely afraid of the fact that they've lost track of the necklace, which helps them with Lasher somehow, decides that the only way to really stop Lasher from getting Rowan is to kill her, and sets her big mansion on fire to kill both her and Rowan and keep them away from Lasher. And Ciprien, who gets an idea of what's going on, shows up, is able to rescue Rowan, but in the process is stabbed by Carlotta on accident, and both are stuck in this burning house as Lasher locks everybody in as the house continues to burn. Now, I can't imagine Lasher wants Rowan dead, because had he wanted Rowan dead, you would feel that it'd be easier to keep her away from New Orleans. Like, just keep her isolated, much easier way to get to her and kill her if that's the case. So I have to imagine that his goal really here is, well, Carlotta fucked up, so he's trying to kill Carlotta, and likely Ciprien at this point as well too. But I have to assume he's planning some way to get Rowan out, because Rowan seems to be incredibly important to his plans. It doesn't really make sense that he would need her dead in order to carry these plans out. So I feel that's going to be explained in these subsequent episodes. We'll see though. So that's it here for tonight, folks. Loving where Mayfair Witches is going. Again, we got the second half of the season, 4 more episodes to get through here, and I'm excited to see the action picking up and see how this is all going to turn out, because I still don't have a handle on this mystery and where it's going with it. But for a chance to win our August prize, which is a little golden book of A is for Alien, to celebrate the release of Alien Romulus that's coming out in theaters this weekend. Folks, all you got to do is tell me in the comment section, who does Rowan have to worry about the most right now on Mayfair Witches? Is it the Talamasca? Is it Lasher? Or is it the Mayfairs themselves? Who should Rowan be on the lookout for? Let me know. End of the month, we're going to give one of these away here. You comment on a video in the month of August, you're entered to win, folks. That's it for us here tonight. Stay tuned, folks. Hit that subscribe button, because I have some great content coming for you. Tomorrow, we are jumping into the world of Alien. That's really what we're going to be focused on here for the next week or so. Don't want y'all to miss out on any of that. We got reviews coming for Alien Covenant, Alien Romulus, and for the original Alien as well, too, coming up for y'all. So stay tuned. That's it tonight, though. My name is T. We've been talking scary movies. Stay scared. Is a big fan of Fangoria. So, if you want to check out the world's best horror magazine that's out there, get a chance to get yourself your own subscription, which I just got my first one back in 2022, and I don't regret it for a second. But if you want your own Fangoria subscription, or you like the Fangoria merchandise, then head over to the Fangoria shop and use my link if you want to save yourself some money, folks. That's an easy one to remember. Just go to shop.fangoria.com/AXDEW. Again, that's shop.fangoria.com/AXDEW, or use my specific code AXDEW at checkout. You can save 20% off your entire order, and that implies 2 subscription and one-time orders as well. You don't want to miss out, folks, because with the magnitude of horror movies we've had released in the last few years, and with what we have on the horizon, Fangoria is going to be your #1 source for all that great, juicy, bloody information in the world of horror. So again, head to shop.fangoria.com. Hey there, folks! Thanks for tuning in to T Watch This Scary Movie. I appreciate you checking out another review or movie news, whether we're talking movies, TV shows, books, or games, whatever, it's all scary. Remember, you can check out new episodes every Wednesday night at 8:30 p.m. Mountain Standard Time on the YouTube page for video. That's youtube.com/C/Theron Reynolds Scary Movie. Again, youtube.com/C/Theron Reynolds Scary Movie. And you can check out the audio version on all your favorite podcasting platforms. Just search T Watch the Scary Movie or TWASM. Don't forget, my name is T. We've been talking scary movies. Stay scared.